Welcome everybody. My name is Nick from Dynamic Fitness and Strength. Today we're working with a landmine. Landmine is going to be used for bent over rows, rotational movements, as well as any type of jam or jerk motion. It's key to remember that you're always pushing the landmine down. You always have the landmine secured in there, but you're also working within your limitations of movement. Too many times you'll get an athlete that just grabs it and starts to try and rotate it as far as they can. You want to make sure that your body is stable within its tight position and then start to work out. Same with jammers. You don't instantly need to start pressing it overhead. If you don't have the flexibility to push that far, just work small jammer motions in order to explode out and work that explosiveness, and to work quick motion while also staying safe and not trying to get your limbs out too far from your core. When you guys are getting a landmine attachment, the key to remember is to get a good landmine that will attach to multiple places. They make standalone landmines, as well as we make them there for attaching to all of our racks and our rigs as well. Make sure you have plenty of room, but then we also make two variations of our landmine. One is a single movement pin that's going to be going through the holes on your rack itself. This is a double knuckle. Double knuckle is always worth a little extra money because it allows you to have more rotation without binding, and it's also not going to wreck your equipment as much being inside the unit. It also is easily quick pull pin, and you can remove it and take it around somewhere else. So as an attachment, it's a great one to just throw onto a unit, have them use at the time, and then get it out of the way so it doesn't become a trip hazard in your gym. What we're going to do here today with the landmine is just show you a couple exercises you can do. Your mind's kind of the limit when it comes to what you can do on a landmine, just because it's a guided rotational movement. So you can do, there's a lot of exercises you can do. I'm just going to show you a couple today to make sure that you're maintaining good body position and you're not injuring yourself. One thing we're going to do is a jammer press off of here. It's going to be a single arm one. You can do double or single. I'm going to show you a little variation of both today. It's more or less a front squat. So doing the squats positioned in the front, we want to remember the same keys that we had in that front squat and in the jerk, where we have our body nice and tall, shoulders down, nice, letting our shoulders drop. Again, just like with other lifts, we don't want our shoulders to pop up like this. It moves us and allows too much movement out of our joint. Get that shoulder down, lock it into position. Your flexibility will determine how high you can go. Abs nice and tight. When I sit up nice and tall in my body, pull the string up through your head, it allows my abs to be nice and tight. My glutes are going to do most of the work along with my shoulders. So I'm just going to get in position here. I'm going to pop it up kind of like a clean. Get it into low position here with my shoulders low. I'm going to go into a half squat and then pop it up overhead. Bring it back down into a half squat, pop it overhead. As you start to develop it and get a little bit stronger, you can do a little bit more of a rotational spin on it, and you can add a little bit of speed. This is where power is going to come in. If you're talking for line athletes, defensive players, or blocking, this is huge to be able to get that thrust up and take that person, get lower to them, and then have that power right off there to take them off their feet right away, or at least give them a little shock so they're back on their heels the whole time. A lot easier blocking and a lot easier tackling when you're trying to just explode through somebody. So we're going to go into position, guide it up. My abs were tight. Even in position, racking and unracking is where most injuries are going to happen. So, picking this up off the floor, I have a straight back. I pick it up off the floor just like I'm doing a deadlift. I don't want to just go up there, around my back, and try to lift it up. I'm going to throw my back out. You're going to throw your shoulders out. You're going to tweak something. Keep everything in good position. Even though you might be a younger athlete, you still want to focus on all of these good position things and develop good habits. They're going to not only reflect in the weight room and in your everyday life, they're going to reflect on the playing field as well. So I'm going to get nice and low, I'm going to come up, I'm going to pop it to my chest. Now if I was going to do a two-hand one, I grip the bar on both. There are attachments as well that you can put over the top for a grip. Today we're just going to use the bar so I can show variation. But I'm going to get myself positioned so that I can have good posture with a slight lean forward, but I'm still on my heels. My feet width, I go a slight bit wider here so I can sit back a little bit more. But I'm going to sit up nice and tall. We're going to go two hands at first. So I'm just going to go into my half squat, sitting back on my heels through my glutes. Drive it up. Come back down, drive it up. You want to change a little bit more of a horizontal push, get a little bit further back. You can transfer onto those toes. Sit on your heels on the way down, transfer to the toes. Heels on the way down, transfer to the toes. I'm taking my power from my glutes, pushing it through into my quads, my calves, into my upper body, and then exploding through my chest and shoulders. That's a lot of major muscle groups to be pushing into an opponent. That's something we want to definitely work. You can go to a single hand to push them off, and rotational to work the obliques and to shed a block. If I'm a If I'm taking a blocker and I'm trying to push them out of the way, fantastic rotational one. Next thing I can do is a rotation just like that to work the obliques and positioning within your glutes on different angles. We do a lot of stuff forward and backwards. In a game or field setting, that rarely happens. In everyday life, that rarely happens where you're going forward and back. So we're going to work some side-to-side rotational. We're going to get ourselves into the same position, grip the bar, get it about 3/4 over. I still want to bend in my arms. I don't want to lock it out. I want to stay about 3/4 bend. I'm going to rotate to the side as far as my body will allow to still control the weight. Come back to the other side, back to the beginning, rotate again. As I come back, I want to make sure this stays tight. As soon as I relax and I fall forward, I'm using my back, my spine to do all the weight. Push that butt out, get those abs nice and tight, rotate, catch, rotate, catch. Then start working a little bit of an actual leg in there, and you can get a little bit lower, rotate to here, come around in a strong, powerful motion to work that push. You're inside of your leg, push off your quad, rotate it all the way back up. Using a bunch of different muscles in a functional, rotational motion. The motion of the landmine, using the double knuckle, allows for those rotational movements to not bind up and not cause me to twist or tweak or anything. If you hit a binding in your landmine, it can throw off your muscles a little bit or tweak something. We don't want that kind of injury. Now let's say I've got room taken up and I need to get somewhere else. The landmine also allows a full range to just swing it over to the out of the way. I'm going to do a bent over row. Just going to grip the bar, again, weights in the heels, weights in the butt, abs are nice and tight, shoulder blades are down. I grip the bar, I'm going to pull my shoulder blades back, lead with my elbows till I'm right here, squeezing back, back down. Letting it come forward. I'm not letting my shoulders round up, my back round out. I want to keep a good low position, pull against the bar. And that's a bent over row. All great exercises you can do with the landmine. Many more out there, but that'll get you started. For more information on this exercise and other exercises, you can go to www.mydynamicfitness.com.